Hello. Okay, cool. Give me a second. Yep, I unplugged my microphone the other day and didn't plug it back in, so sorry about that. Just give me a sec. Sorry, just checking things. And now, because I've stood up, I need to take a whiz. Okay, just give me a second. Just, God damn it, this is loading so slow. Come on, view your channel. It keeps telling me that the audio is peaking, and I just want to make sure it's not. View your channel. It keeps telling me that the audio is peaking, and I just want to make sure it's not. Alright, it's not peaking, I don't know, it's just weird. So, I know I just started the stream. As I said, I just stood up because I've been watching anime, and I'm going to mostly be discussing anime. I'm just going to go take a quick whiz in the toilet, and I'll be back. So, sorry about that. Alright, back. Well, coming back. Yeah, so I had to unplug a bunch of stuff. I had to move my computer around because they needed to do some work on the wall and fix some stuff. And I had to move the computer around. But yeah, my computer and screens and stuff, they're on trestles. So I used to have computer desks, and they were so fucking heavy and hard to move around and get around and shit. And I thought, fuck it, just use a trestle. So yeah, what was I saying? So first things first, update on Godzilla cards. So the first thing I want to talk about is that I sorry. God, that peaking at the bottom of the screen is pissing me off. Anyway, so the first thing I want to talk about is I don't have any of the cards at the moment this week. So mostly because I'm just out of money, just paying back millions of fucking bills and shit. It's just getting a bit struggling a little bit, but it's all right. Now, I don't know if you know, you might not have heard, They've released the second set. I went through a lot of those cards. There's a lot of Shin Tokyo, Shin Godzilla. Shin Tokyo is a shop here in Adelaide that sells anime and stuff, and Godzilla toys. But no, Shin Godzilla. Shin Godzilla is like featured front and center. Like lots of Shin Godzilla. There's even like Chibi second form, which I don't know if you haven't seen Shin Godzilla. There's 4 forms, 5 forms, depending. So form 1, they have names, but yeah, the first form is basically just like the tail that's in the water. Then when it makes landfall, when it gets up on land with the googly eyes, that's second form. And then third form is the one where it's like mostly like Godzilla-esque, but doesn't have the arms. And then the fourth form is the one that like shoots out like gets the spikes on the back and stuff like that, like when it's like it's a full Godzilla. So they're really featuring Shin Godzilla. It's like on the box and all that. It's called Godzilla Raids Again. Is the theme. Like the first one was Godzilla versus Godzilla, which is on the screen now. I'll probably update the image on the screen. I might actually just get a second image, and then whichever box I'm opening, I'll change the image around, which is probably the easiest way to do it. Or put both, I'm not sure. But anyway, so I don't have the new box or anything like that. But yeah. Now, I still need 25 cards to finish off the first set. I might start looking online to get some of those. I don't know. It's sort of hard to know. Like, do I just get the second box? I want to finish the first set. Obviously, the super rare cards, I'm just kind of never going to get. There's a lot more. I think in the first run there was only like 2 or 3 alternates. This one has a lot more alternates, which is interesting, and a lot more super rares. But yeah. Anyway, so that's the Godzilla update. Basically, I don't have any boxes, so that won't be this week. Next fortnight, hopefully, I'll have a bit of spare currency to spend on that stuff. But yeah, for now, it's just waiting. Oh, and they've also announced the third box. So that's the other update. They've just announced the third box, which is going to come out in January. But yeah, so my wallet taking a hit. They've introduced new cards, new like green cards, which I don't play the game itself, but there was white, red, blue. Wait, did they already have green? I don't know. Give me a second. Oh, here they are. Yeah, so... Duplicate tab. Tabaru. Duplicate the tab. Go back. No, back. Red, blue, green, white. Okay, search. Yeah, okay. Hold on. Card number ascending. Yeah, okay. No, it is introduced. Yep, I'm right. Yeah, because EBP02. Yeah, hold on, give me a second. I'm just gonna. So I'm not. Yeah, they've introduced these green cards. I'm assuming that's to make up for, because the game hasn't been very popular. It's picking up speed, I think. Doesn't help that there's all these fuck around shit where we're not getting stuff in Australia around the place. But yeah, so the green cards have just been introduced because they're all EB02 and they're Godzillasaurus. I don't know enough about the cards. I don't know enough about the rules of the game, but yeah. So there's some interesting stuff in here. There's a lot of alternates, as I said. It's kind of interesting. Like, if you ever want to look up the cards, you can look up. If you go to the Bushiroad, you've got to Google it. You can't get there from the Bushiroad website, which is fucking ridiculous. But yeah, it's en.godzilla-cardgame.com. And that will get you to the Bushiroad website. Hopefully, I'm assuming so. Hold on, I'll actually double check that. Yeah, that will get you to the thing. Oh, there we go. We've got the Chibi's hot stamp side cards reveal. But yeah, receive a literature promo card. Yeah, there's a bunch of announcements. I'm so glad I don't get this, you know, just pissed me off. Anyway, 3-box purchase campaign. See a limited edition promo card when you purchase 3 boxes of any official Bushiroad store. Okay, cool. So yeah, so that's basically the update I wanted to do on the cards. So they're out there. And now I want to do something different. I want to talk about anime. So there's been I watch a lot of anime. So I kind of did like off. I don't think I uploaded them, but I did do a bunch of videos in the past. So, oh, by the way, it's Munchman. Munchman here. Keep forgetting to introduce myself. So the this season of releases is interesting. So I'm probably gonna. I try not to complain too much, but yeah. There's anime that like there's people out there that are fucking stupid and they don't know what isekai is. Isekai is when a character goes. Isekai just means another world. That's all it means. Okay, so a character travels to another world or comes from another world or whatever. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with. I've had fucking morons say shit like, we're looking at another world, and I'm like, well, every TV show and movie is another world by that logic. So fuck off. You're stupid. Stop saying stupid shit. Okay. But the other one I want to say is that, yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with reincarnation. And when I say it doesn't have anything to do with reincarnation, before some fucking idiot tries to correct me, what I'm saying is that reincarnation is a method, okay? It's kind of like if you look at something like... I'm trying to think of a good example. You know, it's like if you say... I can't think of a good example, but yeah, it's like, yes, reincarnation is often used. If you actually ask me, most anime that I've watched, that are isekai, it's transported to another world through summoning. That's usually what it is. It's very few truck-kun, by the way. Like, so people talk about truck-kun all the time. Truck-kun's more used as a joke, and so it's so rare to see it that it's like almost always in a joke form. But anyway, there's a couple of isekai that I've watched, and now there's people out there that say stupid shit as well. Ooh, all anime's going isekai. No, it's not. It's not. I'll admit that 25% of anime, or 20% of anime is isekai, but that's nowhere near the fucking majority now, is it? But I know fucking rejected dipshits will be like, oh, well, that's enough, and it's like, oh, fuck off. But anyway, a lot of isekai, they're not even OP, and they do... My big thing is with isekais, they do interesting stuff with it, right? When they don't do interesting stuff, I don't watch it. But that's exactly the same as my friend, who the other day was whinging about isekai, and then he told me about these 3 shonen anime that he was watching. that turned into shit because they became generic trash. And I'm like, oh my god, it's almost like any fucking genre can do that. Wow. It's just, it's fucking pathetic because it's just basically like double standards, and I hate that shit. Anyway, I'm being negative. Let's be positive. Okay, so the first one I want to talk about, I'm going to do these in order of my tabs, which is not release order or anything like that, so it's kind of random, but yeah. So the first one we've got here is a hero without a class. Who even needs skills? This is an interesting one. It's a little bit generic as fuck. Yeah, it's sort of, it's not terrible. I think as a first time watching anime, it's not bad. I think my problem is, and this is where the difference between me and other people, and I'm not trying to have a go at everyone, but a lot of people are like, well, I've seen this 500 times. I'm like, congratulations. That doesn't mean shit. like, wow. That's amazing. It's like when idiots say stupid shit like, the other there's like a comedian the other day talking about Harry Potter, and he's like, I was watching Harry Potter and I realized that it's just Star Wars, and it's like, yeah, and Star Wars is just Flash Gordon and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's like, fuck me. Like, the reality of it is that it's the hero's journey, and the hero's journey, it's like people who try and say, oh man, I watched John Wick the other day, and someone was saying it was similar to, it's the same story as give me a second. It's the same story as Death Wish, but Death Wish is so different. And I'm like, well, Death Wish is different in a lot of ways. It's his wife and daughter that get fucked with, and not his dog and car. There's so many elements that are different. There's no secret society stuff in Death Wish. Okay, cool. But the plot of Death Wish is a dude who gets so far wronged that he's like, that's it, I'm going to fucking kill all of you. You know, he might not do all the headshot shit, but that doesn't mean that it's not a revenge story. Get Shorty, the original, I don't know about the remake or whatever, it was a revenge story. This story's been done countless fucking times. Right? Everything has. So stop complaining about, the same story. It's like, hold on a minute. Is it a good story or a bad story? Because saying that, it's just the same thing, it's like, okay, cool. But just because you've seen it 500 times doesn't mean everyone has. And that's the thing. So, coming back to the point of the story, is I think, like, if you were someone who hasn't seen a lot of anime that's like this, you could enjoy Hero Without a Class, Who Even Needs Skills. I'm just going to call it Hero Without a Class from here on out, it's too long. But yeah, Hero Without a Class is interesting. So the basic premise is that, because I just realized I haven't said anything about the premise. It's set in a fantasy world. It's a character who, he's born classless. So he's in a society where your class defines who you are. So the more powerful your class is, the more prestige you have. And he's born without a class, and it actually turns out that it's a blessing in disguise, because people end up relying on their class, and they just believe, I can't do that. So, for instance, he's using his mother's skills, which is the Sword Princess, and people are like, but that's a skill that only women can learn. And he's learned it, right? So basically, he's basically studying how to maneuver and move and do those skills. There's possibly something else going on in the story, like maybe like a bit of he has got something special going on, but like where it doesn't quite make sense is the fact that he's learning skills that, like, passive skills, like guts, which allows him to take like heavy damage without dying. Doesn't quite make sense because it's not something you can really learn as a technique. Like, what I mean by that is that, like to put it into context, like, you can learn how to, shoot a gun, right? You can learn how to shoot a gun. You can learn how to shoot a gun in CQC environments, or you can learn how to shoot a gun hunting, long range, like, shooting. And you can technically study people who are doing, shooting and stuff like that, and then replicate that to a certain extent, like monkey see, monkey do type learning. with him, like if you know someone who, you know, let's just say for crazy thing, like it's kind of like if you wear a bulletproof vest long enough, then your skin becomes as strong as a bulletproof vest. That's kind of what he's doing. It's not exactly. It's like, yeah, but that's you know the thing. Like he's learning these, as I said, passive skills that don't make sense. That he would be able to learn, but yeah, so it's a little bit weird, but you know it works. So that's one thing. But yeah, so the problem it's got is that it's getting just a little bit generic, boring. I don't mind OP anime, so it is an OP anime for the most part, although he has to learn still the skills. So this is what I laugh at, by the way, just for the record. So this is where people, again, double standards or shifting the goalpost. So one of the things that I often hear people say is, I don't like OP anime because they don't earn it. And then I turn around and go, huh. So explain how Goku earned being an alien, you fucking pissant. Oh, well, he still trained. And I go, oh, well, he trained. But we also know that... oh, my God. What's his name? Hold on. Fucking hell. Krillin. I want to say Pippin. I knew it wasn't Pippin. Krillin. Krillin is like the strongest human, right? And he is not even close to Goku. And he will never reach Goku's level. Because Goku was given the OP status of being a fucking Saiyan. And I'm sorry, but to turn around and say, oh, this character sucks because he didn't earn his power. And I'm like, well, here's a fucking character you love that didn't earn his fucking power. So can we fuck off now? And my point isn't to say that Goku sucks. Goku's fantastic. Dragon Ball Z, it's great. The point is, though, is that don't double standards, right? You can't turn around and say... like, and remember, this is what I laugh at, right? Goku literally gets a power boost if he dies and comes back. Or just gets close to death and comes back. Like, what a fucking cheat skill. But no, Goku's allowed to be like that. It's like, fuck off. Now, I do agree that sometimes with Isekai and stuff like that, it gets a little bit, you know, and then he just has the best ability. I get fatigue. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is like, I get the fatigue. But to say that, like, it's not fair, it's like, well, I'm sorry, but Goku's not fair. You know, fucking... and I can go through countless, by the way. Bleach. When fucking Ichigo gets the soul sword, when Rukia gives him some of her power, but she ends up taking basically all of her power, right? Because he's just so fucking OP. Yeah, he was born that way, right? He didn't fucking go out and earn the ability to cast a big sword. Now, people always try and correct me by going, oh, but he didn't train. And I'm like, almost every OP character from Isekai anime at some point does some form of training. So don't fucking give me that shit, cunt. Like, I'm fucking over it. But anyway, there's one other thing I want to say on that. Is one of the most hilarious ones was the anime 80,000 coins for my retirement. For some reason I keep saying 60,000 coins. It's actually 80,000 coins. I gotta remember that. And in 80,000 coins for my retirement, the character... her only special ability is the ability to travel between worlds, right? And she basically goes from our world to this other world and trades items to make gold, basically. So she's trading, like, Earth items from current day, modern day, like shampoo and, like, appliances and sharp knives and all that sort of stuff. And that's all her ability is. She doesn't have, like, other super abilities. And... she realizes that she's going to this world where, like, you know, there's monsters and stuff. So she gets some gold, goes back to our world, pretends to be a, like, diplomat or something. I can't remember what she exactly says, but basically she goes to a PMC where they don't ask questions and convinces them to train her. So she learns how to use guns and rocket launchers and... equipment and all that. She fully fucking trains, right? But this fucking dickhead comes in watches 5 minutes of the show, admitted after I fucking called out his bullshit that he didn't actually watch the show, he just had it on in the background. And I'm like, oh, okay, so you're a fucking arsehole. You're just a piece of shit. So he was coming in to a forum, and someone had said how they liked the anime. He said, oh, it's just isekai trash where she just gets OP abilities without training. And several people were like, oh, really? And they were like confused. And I said, I just watched this anime, you lying sack of shit. You fucking... I called him out. I wasn't going to fucking stand for it. And I said, this is fucking bullshit. I said, I've read some of your fucking things. You don't watch fucking anime, but you've got a strong fucking opinion about it. The only time you pay attention is when you're typing out a fucking bullshit rhetoric about how, oh, this anime is just isekai generic. She fucking trains, you worthless shit. And he's like, oh, why are you calling me out? I'm going, I'm calling you out because you are a piece of shit. Because, just for the record, to all the people reading my comment, just understand, she 100% trains. This guy is literally lying. Because even if he was listening to the anime, he would have heard that she went to these PMC to learn how to get skills. She actually, later on, goes with the PMC to the other world for the finale. Like, if you even watched, like, the show, like the middle of the show. And I said, the thing is I'm not even going to say the anime is fantastic. It's good, and I enjoyed it, but the middle gets a bit rocky because in that anime, there's like she's setting up like and this is partially to sell stuff, but she's like helping to bring because it's in this world where like fish and stuff would go rotten before you got very far. So she's like got canned fish, canned tuna and stuff that she can open up and present seafood. And all these people are like, oh my god, isn't this a landlocked kingdom? How do they have seafood that's so fresh? But it's because she's bringing it from our world. But yeah, so that part of the show is a little bit, I enjoyed it, but I can understand people being negative about it. Because it does drag a little bit. But yeah, it has a really good finale. But yeah, it's hilarious because this guy had no fucking clue. He then tried to backtrack and do stuff. I said, no, dude, you are a fucking lying worm, and I'm not going to fucking let you crawl into the shadow. You lied, and I'm fucking tired of it because I actually clicked on you. I actually saw you in another forum lying there as well. And I said, the thing is I didn't call you out, and that forum got locked. Because there was an argument started, which was with him as well, and you spoke with such fucking authority. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you lied. And I clicked on your profile. You lie about anime all the time. I don't know if you're just a consummate fucking liar, rage baiting or what, but you're just a piece of shit. You seem to actually want people to like you, but you fucking lie because you don't watch anime. Like, oh, I've watched so much anime. It's like, no, you haven't. And even saying I listened to it, like, anyway, I rambled for like several minutes, and I apologize. I didn't want to do that. But I guess the point I'm trying to make here is that, yeah, when I say something gets a bit generic-y, what I'm really saying is, like, if something's bad, I'll call it bad. If I say something's a little bit generic, I mean, if you're someone who's watched a lot of anime like this, you're probably not going to enjoy it, right? Unless you really like that kind of anime. But, yeah. It's not generic in the sense of like, generic trash. It's more like, it's just not really doing anything different. And that's not bad, because this could be your first anime. And if it's your first anime, it's not generic to you. This is original. So, yeah. So my point is that, yeah, Hero Without a Class is really good. It started really well, and it's fallen off a little bit. But we'll just see what happens as time goes on. But yeah, it's definitely got OP-ness going on. Overpowered, by the way, is OP. So the character is a lot stronger than, like he basically wins most of his fights like, within seconds. So some people don't like that. I actually don't like the joke of it is people say, the action and whatever, and I go, but so often the action gets so samey anyway, so it's not that I'm against action, anime. I just think that, like, there are actually very few anime that have really good drawn out fights. But yeah, so anyway, that's Hero Without a Class. It's good, but it's only up to episode 5. By the way, all of the anime I'm going to talk about are releasing, and they're releasing now. Anyway, that's one out of the way. There's 20 tabs, I think. Alright, so the next one is A Gatherer's Adventures in Isekai. Now, this one is laid back. It's very sort of wholesome. The bee, which is like a little... He finds this dragon. He basically he's looking for Mithril. He finds a cave and finds this ancient dragon, and the ancient dragon decides to help him out. And it is an isekai where he died, so I'll say it when it is. He's reincarnated. He basically gets given some things. He asks for a cute partner, and he means like a cute girlfriend or cute wife or whatever. But the god basically makes it that he has this little dragon. The dragon is getting better, but in the first couple of episodes, it was just like constantly like bee, and it was starting to grate. I can see why, like some people, that's just too much, and I'm like, I get it. Again, I'm not going to invalidate people's opinions. If you don't like something, you don't like something. It's when, like I said before, it's when people have double standards. It's like when people it's okay if you don't like OP characters. But don't fucking tell me that all OP characters suck and then you're a massive Goku fan. It's like, oh my fucking god. And then they try and pretend like Goku isn't super powerful. Oh, he was training as a kid, and I go, it doesn't matter. So was fucking Krillin. And Krillin doesn't fucking have the ability to fucking fly and shit. Oh, no, he does. No, he does have the ability to fly. Sorry. I forgot that Krillin does. But the point I'm trying to make here, well, he can fly. But my point is that Krillin doesn't even, like, begin to get on the same ratio of power. You know what I mean? Like, it just... Yes, Krillin has some super powerful attacks, theoretically. But, you know, it's just... Stop with the double fucking standards, right? Goku has cheat mode on. He fucking... Literally, every time he almost dies, he powers up again, right? He can go Super Saiyan. Guess who can't go superhuman? Fucking Krillin. So, I'm just saying... Stop with the double standards. If you don't like an anime... And you don't like when people... Like you can actually say, hey, I don't like it when characters just get given superpower by a god or a deity or whatever. You know, that's fine. But it's that justification of they didn't train. And I'm like, okay. You sure? You want to use that as your example? Like, really? You know... Like, you're allowed to not like things. I don't like... I didn't enjoy Attack on Titan, so I stopped watching it. Okay? Do I turn around and tell people, I hate Attack on Titan and you can't like it either? No, but that's what I get from other people. I get told, oh, as if you like this slop, you must be a worthless garbage can person. It's like, well, go fuck yourself, mate. You know? I'll look at your anime viewing history and judge you for it, you fuckstick. But anyway, so we're getting off topic. So yeah, a gatherer's adventure in Isekai. Yeah, he basically gets given like a whole bunch of superpowers. He basically gets he's able. The reason it says gatherer is he's got like he can search and find like stuff. He seems to have also, I think, like extra luck because he finds like high value items everywhere. Like other people will go into the forest and they'll find like, you know, some good mushrooms or whatever. He'll find like epic super hardcore, you know, mushrooms that can be turned into the elixir of life or something. You know what I mean? So there's something else going on there, which I'm not totally like, you know, which I'm assuming he has like a high luck stat as well. But yeah, overall it's not bad. I just realised he goes to the main city. Yeah, he was in a village at the start of the story, And the village at the start of the story, everyone was really short. But I think that was just that village. I'm interested to know now. I can't really tell. I was just skimming through the episode. But yeah, so that's a kind of generic one. Again, I talked about a lot of stuff that wasn't the anime. Okay, this one I want to really talk about. So this is May I Ask You for One Final Thing. The last anime was that had 4 episodes. 5th episode's out later today. Or later, well, basically overnight. I love the names of the episodes. Was it May I Kindly Beat the Tar Out of Those Evil Nobles? I think that's the name of the episode, because it cuts off, unfortunately. But yeah, May I Ask You One More Thing? May I Clobber the Arsehole Prince? That's the name of the episode 5. I love it. So basically, funnily enough, there's a bit of isekai stuff in it. But it's not an isekai. It's just got isekai themes in it. And so, yeah, there's a character in it where she's been isekai'd. And that just got revealed. So a bit of a spoiler there, but I won't say who it is. But basically, it's a villainess. So there's been a few villainess stories. So villainess stories, if you don't know, are stories where they come in different varieties, but generally how they work is that most of the time they're in isekai, I will admit that, but they're not always isekai, specifically. Again, people misunderstand isekai. So there was one called Seventh Time Loop or something like that, and it's a woman who was fiancé to usually they're fiancé to the future king, right? And then the prince will break it off, or other things will happen. But basically, the reason they're villainess is because they're like part of a story, which could be a book or a game or something. And we'll get to one kind of cool in a moment. But generally when they're the villainess, it's usually... And that's why it's funny with this one, because this one doesn't have any time travel or anything. Although the main character has some interesting stuff with her backstory and reincarnation, but that's all I'm going to say on that. Bit of a spoiler, I know, but yeah. So basically, again, reincarnation doesn't mean isekai. It's all in universe, okay? There's another character that's got an isekai backstory. That's actually in the show already, being announced. But yeah. So basically, the main character, she is a... She's a noble woman who... When I say she's a villainess in the sense that she's called a villainess because she beats people up who annoy her, right? Like, she's actually, like, she's blessed with this ability, like this thing, but she was trained in the art of justified violence. So, like, part of the reason the first episode is called May I Kindly Beat the Tar Out of These Evil Nobles is because they're slavers and also people mocking her and stuff. So it starts off with a very generic introduction where where the prince is saying, "Oh, you were terrible to this woman, this cute woman," and then the woman's made up all of these lies, all these bullshit lies that he knows are lies. Like, he'd have to know they were lies. Although there's a little bit more going on there, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, so basically that's why she says, "May I ask one final thing?" And then she punches the cunt in the face who lied about her just once, knocking her out, and then beats up everyone in the room, all the noblemen and even some of the women. But it also turns out they were slavers as well, so that didn't help. But yeah, so they've just finished the arc where she's like takes on the slave. She basically infiltrates like the slave auction, and she just loves to beat people up. She's so happy, like she's like laughing. It's like she's like laughing and smiling and so joyous as she's like, you like what would normally be like her like dancing with someone. So she's like doing a twirl with like the love interest or whatever, but she's actually holding a dude by the foot and spinning him around while he smacks into everyone in the room, all these noblemen in this room. And she just, like, throws him through a wall. and then punches the crap out of him. And she's got like, if you look at the images for the show, she's got like the Tifa style fighting gloves, fingerless fighting gloves, but it's got like a silver embedded like piece of silver on the back. So when she punches people with the back of her hand, or she backhands them, like she smacks them with fucking metal, like metal duster style. Like she's just so fucking great. She just beats the shit out of every motherfucker that's like deserves it. And yeah, like she starts off, she beats up, as I said, she beats up this, she beats up all these nobles and stuff because they're laughing at her because she's been embarrassed on her day because the prince has said that he's not going to marry her anymore, he's going to marry this other woman. And the woman was, and he starts saying all these lies that everyone knows are lies, but they're like, ha 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 ha, and she's like, oh wow, I actually don't mind this because it means that I don't have to marry you, you fucking piece of shit. Because she didn't want to marry him. It was like an arranged marriage, so she just went along with it. So technically, it's like it's the classic I'm not locked in with you, you're locked in with me situation where he's like, ha ha ha, aren't you just embarrassed? Aren't you going to cry? And she's like, no, it just means that I can beat the shit out of you now, you fucking little piece of shit. Now, he's not actually meant to be the future king. He's the second prince. And the first prince is actually following her around and wants to get with her. But then, there's sort of things to it. It's all a little bit twisted going on. But yeah, it all works out. But it is hilariously good anime. Like, it's so much fun. It takes the tropes that we already know and just flips them on its head. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And I think that I don't think it's going to slow down. It's funny. She's got she saves them because it's all reported what she's done. She's like saved all the slaves and gotten rid of the evil minister. The prime minister was like a piece of shit, and she's there. And there's a woman going, oh, she like they're like, oh, she's retired to. I think I don't know if it says anything about her pets, but one of them's like, oh, she would have a pet dog because a pet dog because she's so wants an obedient dog or whatever, and then the other one is that she'd have an elegant refined pet cat, a white pet cat that would be whatever, and it's like her dark and mysterious side would be like a wolf dog or whatever, like a wolf husky or whatever. And then it cuts to her, and she's like feeding this dragon that she literally punched unconscious in the last episode. Like, the dragon actually belonged to someone else. It was a dragon rider, and the dragon went to bite her, and she just grabbed it. Like, it went to whack this guy with its tail, and she just stops it with her fist. And the dragon's like, "Wait, the fuck, bro? Like, how the fuck did you stop my tail?" Okay, and then it goes to bite her, and she just like grabs it by the mouth and just like punches it in the fucking face, knocks it unconscious. It's like now it's her pet. It's just like, I love it. I fucking love it. And then she's on her way back after visiting, like going out for like just flying around for a bit, and her friends mistake it for an invading army and blow it up, and she's just unscathed. Like, the dragon's like a little worse for wear. But she's just like, oh yeah, and she's like doesn't care. Like she probably plummeted out of the sky, but she's got the strength. Like, I just love it. Like she's so elegant and refined, and she's like delicate flower, and she's punching the shit out of people, and she's able to control time. So she like pauses time and then punches the shit out of this dude, and then clocks time back in, and he gets like knocked unconscious and bleeding and shit. But yeah, it is a fun anime, and it's a romance. It's got some twisted angles to it, but it works overall, and I really enjoy it. As you can see, like, it's one of my favorite of the season. So yeah, that's a pretty good one. So that's May I ask for one final thing? And yeah, it's funny. Okay, so that one's up to episode 5. This next one is up to episode 4. This one's kind of weird. It's very edgelord. I don't mind that. It's sort of a little bit all over the place. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. But I think if anything, like, I'm not big on characters that are sort of villainous. like want to destroy the world sort of thing. But I think in this one, I don't think he's actually a good person. It's going to be interesting to see like what happens at the end. Like I think he's still going to be a good guy by the end. But yeah. So this one is a bit of a mouthful. I know. My gift. Give me a second. Okay. My gift level 9999 unlimited gacha backstabbed in a backwater dungeon. Right? This anime. Hold on. I was thinking this ... I scrolled down. Okay. It's my gift level 9999 unlimited gacha backstabbed in a backwater dungeon, I'm out for revenge. So this one is interesting. So here's the first flip, okay? Because it's got a few flips to it. Now I want to be clear here. When he says gacha, so gacha is a Japanese word. We often think of gacha as like gacha games, where it's like, where you summon. So gacha, initially, if you've ever played, or you might have seen these in malls and stuff, where they're like little capsules. You pay money and it drops down and you open it up and there's a random toy inside, right? So gacha is basically like technically Pokemon is a form of gacha, right? Technically. It's not really, but it's in that same vein of like gotta get them all, right? So in Japan, they've got like a lot of gacha machines and stuff, and how they're basically those sorts of things where you turn it and they come out, or here in Australia and in Europe they had Kinder Surprise. Technically Kinder Surprise is in America, but by the way, Kinder Surprise has a completely legitimate reason why it's banned in America. So I don't want to get into the full story. It's an extremely sad story. Like it's someone died, by the way. A child died. So back in like, I can't remember when it was, right? We're going back like decades. I don't think it was it was last century in the sense of the 1900s. I don't think it was the 1800s, but it was a while back. I think it was like 1930s maybe. I'm not sure. But there was basically a doctor, chemist, who came out with a cough medicine, but the cough medicine had a literal poison in it, and it killed people slowly and painfully. The guy who actually made it committed suicide. Okay, like this is real. This is not me making shit up. They started selling this medicine, and it killed a whole bunch of people. And this is before things like... This is basically why in America you have the Food and Drug Administration. This is basically why they were created. Okay? So one of the rules that they made early on, and still stands to this fucking day... Okay, so before people go, oh, Kinder Surprise is so fucking stupid, what a fucking retarded thing to do. Hold on. Basically, it is overreach, except it comes from a good place, right? Basically, Kinder Surprise is the system working, okay? Because in America, you are not allowed to put anything that is not classified as a food or edible. Sorry. If you have food, it has to be 100% food. Okay? Now, you can cover food in something. So you can have, like, for instance, the wrapper on a burger, which is around the burger. But if you have if you were to have a burger where the cheese had plastic around it, and you're supposed to like take that, and by the way, these actually exist, by the way, like not in America, but there was like these constructor burgers you used to get, like when I was a kid. They did technically sell them in America for like 5 fucking minutes, and then they had to stop, okay? But how it worked was you actually had like everything was like in plastic, right? And it was like a constructed burger, but everything was in plastic. and you basically opened up all the things. So you had to peel out the cheese, you had to open the wrapper for the buns, and all these things. I think it was actually called Constructor Burger. Don't quote me on that. I looked it up online, I couldn't find it. But there are things that I've looked up online that I remember as a kid, and I have literal fucking posters and items and fucking photos and like evidence that they existed, and I can't find them online. Things from the 90s sometimes don't have any record of them anymore, so don't fucking tell me the internet knows everything. But anyway, I'm so defensive, I know, but it's just like there's always some fucking cunt out there that's like, oh, the internet knows everything, and I'm like, no, it doesn't. Fuck off, cunt. Anyway, the point is that America won't allow that. Okay, you can I think in America how they got around it was everything was like in a box, like packaged, so it wasn't together. Whereas when I remember seeing it as a kid, it looked like a burger, just everything wrapped up, right? But it was in the order of a burger. In America, that wouldn't technically be allowed, right? It might still get around it, and maybe they were okay in America, but the point is you can't basically put wrappings inside of stuff, okay? Which comes back to the Kinder Surprise. Because the fucking toy and the capsule are inside that chocolate egg, it's not food. So the rules are overreaching, sure. What kid would put that in their mouth? Choking has blah, 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 blah. All the bullshit you can fucking come up with. But it's actually to stop fucking companies from literally putting poison into products, which they used to fucking do. Right? And they would still do it today. And in some cases they have done it and been arrested in court. And that's why that law exists. Because every time a company does this shit, they instantly get fucked. Because in other countries, it's like, okay, we have to prove that they fucked up. In America, it's like, was that a food? No. Wow, you fucking went against the rules. You're fucking done, mate. So, Kinder Surprise seems fucking wrong. Like, why is it banned in America? It's because of it's actually the system working. It's just working a little too well. Okay? So what they did in America, and I don't know if they still have, but they did this for a while, is you could buy the Kinder Surprise, it was the Kinder Stick chocolate, and then the toy separate. Right? Apparently they still have them in America, but then I talk to people and they say they don't. I look it up online, I can't get a straight fucking answer when you think you would get a straight fucking answer. So I don't fucking know. But yeah, so they did, and I know they brought those out in Australia for a little while. You can still get the Kinder, like Kinder chocolate as a stick, like a stick of chocolate, like a bar, I guess. But it's more like a little stick. Anyway, but the point is, I'm getting off topic. So gacha is little toys, collectible stuff, right? But of course, gacha can go to summon, right? So that's why you have gacha games. In this anime, he basically has the ability to like conjure things by his gacha. So to begin with, like he first rocks up in this town, and that's the other thing I was saying when it flips on its head. So it flips on its head is in this world, in this anime, humans are the weakest, and all the other races look down on the humans and pick on them, right? So yeah, he basically gets used by this group who trick him, as it says, like, you know, backstabbed in a backwater dungeon. He's in this like dungeon called the Abyss, and when he's on the surface, when he's looking to join a party, he tries to use his gacha ability, like he tries to make some food, and it makes a rotten apple. He goes to make a spoon, and it's a bent spoon, or like an implement. He goes to make, I can't remember what the third one was, but yeah, it's like it's broken. So he's like, normally my skill's better than this. Anyway, what he learns, because no one told him, or no one knew, or whatever, his skill is actually super powerful. That's why it says like level 9999. And he knew that it was he knew that it was high level, but it never worked very well, because it relies on how much mana is around him. And at the bottom of the dungeon, it's just like super fucking mana. Like it's just mana absorbed, like saturated in mana. So due to a set of circumstances, he ends up on the bottom floor after they try to kill him. And he basically uses his gacha skill like out of desperation, and it summons this level 9999 super maid, like warrior, who protects him and heals him and all this. And he's basically spent 3 years at the bottom of this dungeon summoning, and she explains to him what I just explained to you guys. She explains to him, oh, your ability is super powerful. It's just that when you were in the town, so when you were in your original town where there were humans, it was consistently good because there was a little bit of mana in the air. When you went to town, where lots of people were, and lots of like mages and shit, the mana concentration around you was super low. So that's why you got like rotten food and shit. Once you got down to the bottom of the dungeon, even if at the top of the dungeon you had a summon, you would have got... Well, when he was at the top of the dungeon, he was getting good stuff. But now that you're at the bottom of the dungeon, you just basically draw super rares every time. Like, you're getting 100... Instead of getting 0.00001%, you're getting like 100, like 99%, you know? So, it's really cool. Like, he basically builds an empire in the bottom of this dungeon. And now he's going to the surface to get revenge. And it's like, he's actually, like, doing stuff. Like, he's clever because he knows that people are looking for him. He wants to find out why they tried to kill him. I think one of the best ones is he gets the guy who actually tried to kill him directly, this wolf dude. So beast race guy. He basically just stands him up. Like the dude's like, I'm level 159 and you're level 15. Like, you know, and humans can only get to level 100 if they're like really super lucky. And he's like tries to intimidate him, and the main character's just bored. He's like, oh, okay, cool. And then he's like, I've got my special weapon, level 500 Fenrir! Ha 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 ha! And he, like, blasts a beam of, like, ice stuff at him. And the main character's like, oh, okay, cool, that's it? By the way, as if you'd call that imposter Fenrir, here's my Fenrir. And he just pulls out a level 9000 card, because it's like a card, but it summons it. And this fucking Fenrir comes out, and the Fenrir looks at the, like, shitty Fenrir of level 500, and just goes, he's like, kill the main character's like, kill this mutt. And he just, like, goes, whew, it just breathes out like a tiny fucking gust of, like, ice, and it just hits the fucking level 500 Fenrir, freezes it, and shatters it in one go. And, like, yeah, the level 900's like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, thanks, master. Like, we're going to do something real fight? And it's like, no, I'll have you for later. He's like, you know, he's bored. Like, you know, he doesn't say anything, by the way. But, yeah, it's, like, fucking hilarious, man. And this dude's like, holy shit. And then he shows his level, and his level now is 999. Because he's been training for the last 3 years to become super powerful. So, yeah, he then takes this dude down to his thing. Like, he goes, he asks him, he says, like, you know, if I was to invade the surface, would I win? And he says, to be honest, you would have a really good shot to begin with, but then the kingdoms would rise up against you and you would have no chance, because even if you are level 9999, they will start using like powerful weapons and powerful magics, bringing out their best forces and all the rest of it, and you would eventually become fatigued and defeated. And he goes, oh, okay, cool. Just come with me. So he teleports him into this like throne room, and there's just like surrounded by like these maids and all these things. He's been summoning all this stuff, and he goes, "Okay, everyone, please reveal," because you can reveal your status, and it just tells you, like, it appears in front of you what your status is, and all like it goes through their status. So it starts off at one end, it's like all 9999. And then it's like a few 7,500s. Remember, this guy's level 160 or some shit. Right. The Fenrir that he summoned was level 500. But yeah, they're all like level whatever. And then it goes down to the end where there's like these like there's like a whole bunch of like monsters, like orcs and fucking, you know, like monster stuff. And they're all like in this 333. Like, a lot of them are like 7777 and something like 7,777. And then it goes to like the weakest, and these weakest soldiers are a bunch of like knights. I think they're dull hands, actually. I'm not totally sure if there's anything in there. but they're level 15, like 1,500, and it's like, even his weakest units would have smashed your Fenrir into little fucking pasty bits. And it's like, and he looks at him and he goes, I'm not going to kill you. I want you to live, and I want you to live in fear, knowing that I exist, right? Like, you failed to kill me, but not only did you fail to kill me, you actually helped me by allowing, like, if basically he stepped on a teleportation trap and teleported to the bottom of the dungeon, which for anyone else would have been a death sentence. But for him, he manages to, get through the situation. Like, as I said, because he sort of panic summoned, he tried to summon like a weapon and got like a battle made. And by the way, the anime is definitely fan servicey. I'm not going to say it's not. It's definitely got fan service. Of course, you go into the comments and people are calling it an isekai. It's not a fucking isekai. Unless you count the dungeons as another world, but they're not really because they're part of the world sort of thing. But yeah, so long story short, he's out for revenge. Now, and that's the thing, he started at level 15. So someone in the comments is going, oh, he's only OP. It's like, but whoa. He still had to fucking, like, for the last 3 years, he has been training his ass off to be level 999. Like, he's just like Goku. He got a head start. He got an ability that allows him to become more powerful. Like, fuck off with this, He did train. Anyway, I've got to stop doing that. I apologise. I'm always complaining. But yeah. But hopefully you can hear my voice. I really, really enjoy this one. But it is up and down, so it might go shit later in the season. I think it's going to have like a strong finale either way. But yeah, it's... I'm hoping that it keeps up the momentum. Alright, so that's up to the 4th episode, and that's got 4 days for the next episode. Okay, so the next anime I want to talk about is Past the Monster Meat Milady. So, this one's kind of trippy. Again, talking about villainess stories. It's a love story. By the way, this is the one that I had before, one final thing. People are complaining about that one as being for girls. It's not for girls. And this for girls and for boys shit, yeah. Like, I will agree that, like, little girls Barbie TV shows are definitely for little girls. Even though most women I've spoken to who grew up and their mums bought them those movies, like, back on VHS, were like, I never really liked them. Like, yeah. Like, there's a reason why My Little Pony has bronies, right? Like, I liked My Little Pony. I only watched the first season, I think I watched half of the second season. And I probably could sit down and watch the whole thing. But it's just got a good storyline to it. Like, it's actually like a fun storyline. It's very cutesy and whatever. But it's telling a good story. It's not just being, like, tripe, you know what I mean? And I think that's the thing, is that people are sort of like, oh, well, this is all just romance. And it's like, okay. But anyway, past the Monster Meat Milady. This one's interesting. So it's a little bit... I must have misunderstood. I'm still not totally sure. I guess, yeah. So basically, the main character she eats monster meat all the time, right? And this is a world where monster meat is kind of poisonous, and it's hard to prepare right because of the toxins. I think what it is people just cook the shit out of it to get rid of the toxins, but then it makes it like tough and gamey and shitty. Whereas she knows how to remove the toxins to make it like into just meat, and then you can cook it like and make good meals, right? And because basically they basically dump most of the meat that's from the monsters, because you can't eat it because it'll either poison you, or it'll poison you, make you sick, or... So when I say poison you, sorry, it can lethal, like, it can kill you, like, that sort of poison, I mean. Or make you just a little sick, like, very sick, or just a little sick. But yeah, she basically wants to make all this monster meat, and so she meets this guy who everyone is no one likes her, and they're afraid of her because she's like the voracious villainess who is always eating like weird stuff. Like, you know, what a freakazoid, eating monster meat. Ew. And then so there are animals. There's like normal like sheep and all that sort of stuff. Then there's monsters, right? So there is meat, but then there's monsters which are different. Like, they've got mana in their system and stuff like that. So basically, she's trying to push for this, and then she meets this guy, and it's a romance story between her and this dude. I can't remember his name. She's Melifera. Oh, come on. Well, they call him the Blood Mad Duke because he's always hunting stuff, but he's actually always hunting animals because they live in an area where there's a lot of monsters. So basically, they're on the border, stopping the monsters from invading the fucking kingdom. But as a result, everyone's like, "Oh, what barbarous people always hunting monsters and shit." And it's like, oh my god. So anyway, like, her going with them, basically they're already betrothed, or like, you know, fiance. They're not married quite yet, but yeah, like, they actually do love each other, but they're kind of like, they just think it's like a mutual benefit thing, like, but he actually does love her and she actually does love him. So it's kind of interesting how it is. Like, it's at least leaping into them being together straight away, but she's worried that he's going to judge her for her eating monsters and shit. And also, like, she's like, "Oh, but I'm not, you know, because she's a countess. She's the daughter of a count, and he's the daughter of a duke. So, like, he's marrying down, and that's another reason why, like, she's worried and stuff. So there's like stuff like that. There's like a little bit of politics. It's not politics heavy though. Well, at least not yet. Hopefully, it doesn't get any more politics. But yeah, it's just a funny little thing. But it's funny because she's so obsessed with eating monster meat, and like everyone else is like, "Oh, you're such a weirdo." But yeah, he's like, you know, this dude who, you know, he's got people judging him. She's got people judging her. But they sort of get together, so it's a very good anime. I really like it. So that's Past the Monster Meat Milady. That's on episode 4. The next episode is 3 days away. All right. The next one. This one's sort of a throwaway one. I don't have much to say on this one. So this is Koala's Diary. This is like a little kid show. It's just kind of cute. I'm only really watching it because I'm Aussie. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, I go down to the bottom here, there's like one comment, and that's my comment. So, yeah, it's, how'd you like this anime? It's got 8.62 by 13 reviews. And the episodes are only 2 minutes each, so they're just like little filler episodes. But yeah, it's just a bit of fun. Like, it basically says what's going to happen, and then it just happens. Like, there's nothing to it. It's very much a kid's show. But it's not like beaming in your face, like loud noises, Teletubbies or whatever. It's just, you know, this koala, he lost his scissors, and so he's like cutting open letters, and then he puts his scissors down, and then he looks at the letter, and then he puts the scissors down on the book. Then he puts like the fucking envelope, like the cut envelope, on top of the scissors. Then he puts the letter that he just read on top of the scissors. He picks up the next letter and he's like, "Wait, where are my scissors?" Then he picks up the book, and literally there's like an arrow on the screen pointing to where the scissors are if you missed it, because again, little kids. And he picks up the book and he's like, "Huh," and he can't see the scissors because they're part of, like, he picked them up when he picked up everything else. And that's the end of that segment, and there's like 3 segments per episode. It's like the koala was folding laundry, and he just folds laundry, and then he's tired afterwards because he's like, "Oh, I've been working all day folding laundry." You know, it's like very basic shit. Like, so I've probably said more about it than it really needs to be said, but yeah, it's not little kid zany crazy jangle keys. It's more like just simple stuff. Just for the record, I know I'm going to like talk about this for a long time, but these kinds of anime, they actually have a reason to exist. So it's not that these things don't exist in America. They do. They absolutely fucking do. But they're more of an England, Australia, Japan thing. What it has to do with is, in America, everything's like commercials. Commercial breaks just all the time, right? In Australia, and I'm not saying there aren't channels in America, like I don't know about PBS. I think PBS is gone though. I think they got rid of that, which is, fucking classic fucking bullshit. But yeah, the point is that there's a what was I saying? Sorry, just got distracted. Oh yeah, so if you've ever gotten a DVD and you've watched episodes, and you may have never realized this, but the episode, like a TV show runs for 22, 23 minutes, right? So there's, or 44 minutes, right? And the reason for that is that, but you're thinking to yourself, wait, but TV shows run for half an hour. Because there's ad breaks. Now, in Australia and the UK, and especially the UK actually, the UK has the BBC, you may know about this, you have to pay a telly license, right? Now, there are commercials between shows. But during shows, it just does the fade to black and then fades back in, right? Like you're watching it on a DVD. Because they don't have commercial breaks during the show. But what this means is that, so there's a show called Pointless, right? And so in Australia, we have syndicated channels, and we've also got pay TV as well. But with the ABC, which is Australian Broadcast Channel, it's Australian Broadcast Commission, that's the equivalent of PBS, sort of. That's where a lot of like TV shows, there's like ABC News, which is like it tries not to be sensationalized and stuff like that. It's basically government funded. So as a result, it doesn't have commercials, right? Because its funding comes from the government. It has commercials technically between episodes, and yes, sometimes they do sell cars and whatever, but it's very minimal, right? So the shows are not syndicated in the traditional sense. What it means though is that when an episode ends, like basically most of the commercials are for other shows on ABC. That's the point, right? Basically, when a show ends at 22 minutes, there's 8 minutes of filler. So things like this Koala Diaries, that's what that's designed for. It's designed to fill up those minutes. So if you ever look up things like Trapdoor, right? There was a British show called Trapdoor. Get away from that trapdoor, 'cause there's something down there. Anyway, you can look that up if you want. And it's all claymation. Trapdoor were like 3 or 4 minute episodes. Creature Comforts, done by the Aardman guys, the guys who did Wallace and Gromit and Chicken Run and stuff like that. They did a show called Creature Comforts. Creature Comforts is that. And there was another one they did that was No, that wasn't them, was it? I'm trying to remember now. But yeah, there's like... So these little filler shows, if you ever wonder why they exist mostly for countries where they have a channel or channels that don't have commercial breaks. And it's to fill in the time, because you still need to fill a half an hour block. So that's the thing. It's kind of interesting. Basically, the show ends, and then what do we do for the next 7 to 8 minutes before the next one begins? So they have some commercials for other ABC shows, but they have these little filler episodes. Super Ted was another one. A lot of these shows, and they're just like 4 or 5 minute shows. Now, in America, there is a place for these, because I think PBS did the same thing, where it was no commercials, maybe, I don't know. But pay TV sort of took some of these because some pay TV channels with America, like cable I'm talking about, would have time they needed to fill. So it's not like America doesn't need these at all, but America's generally always got commercials going, basically. So it's American shows, but this is where it gets interesting because then you'll have shows that come from America and then come from Europe, England, and go to America. Well, the reason why a lot of TV shows never went to America was because they didn't have commercial breaks built in. Yeah, it's kind of trippy. Like, there's so many shows because they're literally a 60-minute show. Because in England, the BBC doesn't have commercials. And when I say a 60-minute show, it's like a 55-minute show is what I mean. Like 50. Some of them were 60-minute shows though. But yeah, a lot of game shows and stuff. That's why if you're living in Australia and you're listening to this, when they tried to bring Pointless to Australia and made the Pointless Australia edition, they put it on Channel 10 or Channel 7 or whatever it was. And they had to shorten it because the original show is an hour long. They had to cut it down they only had a 30-minute slot, and then they had to put in commercial breaks. So the show didn't just half its time, it ended up with only about 25 minutes, so they cut everything down and it just didn't flow. Everything was just being rushed. So, yeah, Pointless is a really good game show, by the way. But yeah, okay, so this next anime is interesting. So that Koala Diary thing, that's up to episode 4. I don't think too many people are going to watch it. But yeah, it's if you just want something fun to watch in between, I don't mind watching it. It's, yeah. Anyway, I just make references to the fact that I live here in Adelaide, and in the Adelaide Hills you can see koalas all the time. So if you ever want to come to Australia, go to South Australia and the Adelaide Hills, and there's a lot of koalas up there. You have to drive around and park and walk around and stuff, but yeah, your chances of seeing a koala in South Australia is about 100 times better than seeing one anywhere else. But yeah, because Kangaroo Island as well. Like, I love how it's called Kangaroo Island. What's Kangaroo Island known for? Koalas, penguins, fairy penguins, and I can't remember the third one. And seals, like the. But they're not like that though. But yeah, when we went to Kangaroo Island, I've only been there once. But when we went to Kangaroo Island, I didn't see a single kangaroo. So it's kind of a little bit misnamed. But yeah. Anyway, so this anime, going back to the anime. Potion... Actually, what is it called? I keep forgetting the name. It is... I saved myself with a potion, life in another world. So this is an isekai. This is a summoned isekai. Back to summoned. So there's a girl. It's a 17-year-old girl who doesn't look 17, but that's okay. She's a schoolgirl. She's in school uniform. She suddenly wakes up in this random town, and there's like animal people and stuff. She's all confused. I'll get to the animation in a minute for any fucker out there that's like, you haven't talked about the animation yet. It's like, I'll talk about it. Anyway, so it's a really simple anime. Only 13-minute episodes, coming back to like, short episodes. So she wakes up in this other world. She finds a book in her school bag by this guy. I can't remember the name of him. He hasn't really come up again. But the book tells her how to make potions. And she's only just found out that like to make potions is like a really involved process. All she has to do is get herbs, and in this case she just rips up some grass. She rips up just like standard grass and then just water and grass, and just says, generate, I think that's what she says. And then it just makes potions out of it. So she's on easy mode, sure, but she doesn't know why she's there. Now, before we get into like, is she OP or whatever, well, she can't fight. She needs to be escorted around. She's very weak. The anime is extremely simplistic, and I really enjoy it because it's basically how would you really react if you were transported to a fantasy world. Sort of. Like, she doesn't go off and have a grand adventure. She's not slaying dragons. She's not doing anything like that. What she's doing is just trying to survive day to day. So she's making potions. She's using the money. She's trying to save her money and trying to, like, you know, make ends meet and stuff. It's a very simple story. She's looking for, like, you know, the first episode she's looking for lodging, and she basically eats a loaf of bread every day. But she's starting to build up her finances and starting to get, you know, learn more, and she's got like 3 recipes: potion, high potion, and maximum potion. And she's only just learned that you don't drink the potion. So the first 2 potions, you just, like, I'm guessing you just sprinkle them on your wounds and heal them. Because he said, with a maximum potion can actually heal, like, a limb. And apparently, I think he said his father or someone had chopped their arm off by accident. And they gave them a maximum potion and he grew back his limb. But he said, you have to do it straight away. Because if it starts to heal, then you lose your opportunity to grow back your limb. So, anyway, she hasn't made high potions yet. She's probably going to do that soon. But it's sort of like a meandering slice of life. I mean, it is a slice of life. I shouldn't say it's like. It is. It's just a meandering slice of life where she's just living day to day and trying to sell her potions and learning about the world and all that. Now, the elephant in the room. The animation is extremely simplistic. And it's also like, it's basically animated storybook, okay? But it doesn't need to be anything else. And this is the problem. Like, it has a really low rating. It's climbing, though. Like, 6.0 rating by 375 reviews. Most of those negative reviews will be a 1 out of 5 because, it's a fucking isekai and this fucking animation is terrible and, what the fuck, and, like, just complaining shit, okay? If you want just a nice, absolutely cozy as fuck anime, this one's fantastic. And it's funny because you go into the comments now, because now all the shitty people have left. It's like, good thing I don't really care about the graphics so much because I'm really enjoying the story and the OP, the opening and ending song, which they are good little songs. But it's short. I don't mind using... this one's weird. I don't get this one. Yeah, someone came on and was like, I don't mind them using AI to make anime. I just wish they did it better. And I looked it up, and I can't find a single source that says it's AI generated. So whoever this fucking numbskull is, they need to fucking grow up and, fucking... Here's my thing. I am cautious of AI, and I am cautious. I am also, like, I do judge AI a little bit. I'm critical of AI. I see a lot of pointless AI. I see a lot of problematic AI. I see a lot of issues. I see people fucking using ChatGPT as a search engine and then getting extremely stupid answers and then thinking that that's how the world works. And I'm like, this is kind of scary. It hallucinates answers, and that's very fucking terrifying because there are morons out there that do not fact check. And, they're gonna repeat this shit and then base their life choices on this shit. People have already done that, and not good. But my point is that, so I'm not like, oh my god, it's AI generated. If this is AI generated, I'm like, actually, it's not too bad. But, a lot of people, like, online, when I Google searched it and looked around, I found several people saying that it's AI generated, but they're all just saying it looks AI generated, and then they're just assuming it is. And I'm like, well, okay. But, it's basically like, as I said, it's a moving storybook. So a lot of still frame images or very simplistic designed images. But it doesn't need to be anything else. And that's my big thing. Coming back to double standards, people are always judging graphics and shit. Like, I'm amazed that people think the Supercube is a 10 out of 10 anime. The Supercube is absolutely fucking atrocious storyline. Hate it with a passion. The action doesn't even hold up. But people are like, oh my god, it's so fucking flashy. I'm like, dude, this is literally... Like I said before about Koala's Diary, and I'm like, defending like my watching it because it's a little kid show. Supercube is just jangle keys in front of you. Jangle, 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 jangle. It's fucking ridiculous. Whereas, like this anime gets judged hard, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a cute little anime where not much happens. She's just chilling. She's learning as she goes, and she's taking a very logical angle to everything. But yeah, I really enjoy it. Like I don't think she's going to be saving the world by the end of it. You know what I mean? And the guy who gave her the book and said to fill up the pages with other recipes. It's going to be interesting to see if that actually gets like in this show, because it's only 12 episodes. And she doesn't say how many episodes there are, but it's up to episode 4, and basically nothing's happened in the anime. She just made some potions, bought some gear, that's all that. I'm fine with that. I'm enjoying it. It's just a bit of fun. It's very, very much. I'm probably going to forget about it, But yeah, so Potion Wagami wo Tasakura is it's just a lot of fun. What's this? Hold on. Just give me a sec. Yeah, so, sorry, someone sort of responded. I wish they actually knew, but anyway. So Potion Wagami wo Tasakura, or... What was it again? Hold on. I suck. Oh, god damn it. I saved myself with a potion, Life in Another World. Yeah, that one, that's just a cute little one, very throwaway. I like it. Alright, this next one's interesting. So this next one's kind of... It's an isekai, and it definitely... I will agree with one thing. There's a lot of isekai where, why is it isekai? What I've learned, though, is that many of them, the anime doesn't follow through with the isekai stuff, but if you actually read the manga, the isekai factors in a lot more. But yeah, in this one, a wild last boss appeared. It's a dude who... It's a dude who was playing an MMO, or he was playing an MMO, and he was like leading a guild, and he has this like giant war where, because the way the game works, you can take over territories. So I think they call it a 4X game. I'm not totally sure, but he you can make your own storyline. So he became the villain, right, or the villainess actually, and what happens is. Yeah, he gets summoned. So I don't know if he died, but he gets summoned into the game world. But it seems to be that the game is based off a different world. However, everything in the game, so it's kind of weird. So he's been summoned into this world, but it's 200 years later, and he is the character that he was in the game. There's a theory, and I don't know if this is actually a spoiler. People seem to be guessing this is the case, so I'm hoping that's all it is. But I think it actually makes sense. But it seems like maybe the game... She created the game... Maybe? I don't know. It sort of seems like she's lived this life. Because there's memories I love it. They use the term we, us, like third person... like group, like royal we style. And people lose their shit every episode. Like the first 3 episodes, people will complain about it. It literally lost, like if you look at its rating, 9.09, it would probably be higher if the main character didn't refer to themselves as we. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Grow up. It's the royal we, and whatever. If you don't know what royal we is, it's like when like royalty are like, we are not amused, but they mean themselves, right? The collective we, as they call it. And yes, we, pee, no, grow up. But yeah, like, you know, like if you're in a group of 3 people or even 2 people, it's like, you know, someone does something and like, yeah, we're not going to go there. Like, we're not going to go there. But if I was by myself and I'm like, we're not going to go there, it wouldn't quite make sense because it's like, who's we? You know what I mean? So anyway, this is up to the 5th episode. It's got some fucking hilarious moments. But yeah, there's this the girl who's like she's like dressed as a high school student. There's this girl that so basically 200 years earlier. So in the game, for him it's like yesterday, right? They were playing the game and he gets defeated by the heroes, right? Then he gets summoned to this other world. Okay, so he hasn't died, he just gets summoned. Right? So he's not fucking dead, it's not reincarnation. Although technically there is a reincarnation element, but that's in-universe, because the main... like, she's come back, like, because they tried to summon a hero to save humanity, and they got her. But she actually did want to save humanity for the most part, so it's kind of funny. Like, anyway, she's trying to help everyone, sort of, but she's malevolent and, you know, the ruler and whatever. But yeah, so the storyline is that she gets summoned, but she's got the mind of a male as well. And so there's like little things that happen, like she doesn't want to look at her own body sometimes because, you know, she might get horny, or she doesn't want to look at the Dina, which is this other character. And that character, they placed her to... basically, when he was building his base in the game, he placed this, like, random character just in the corner because it needed to be there. Like, as part of the game rules, you had to add, like, a character that you could, like, talk to organise things. And then completely forgot about it. So when she gets to her castle, this random character is there, and it's like... who are you? And it's like, oh my god, like, you know, I've waited 200 years. She's kind of clueless. But yeah, like, everyone forgot about her. All the other characters that were in the castle and all that have completely forgotten that she was there. But she's loyal, so, you know, like, because she was programmed to be loyal, I guess. But yeah, so she's hanging around, and she's pretty cool. But yeah, it's a great little anime. I'm really enjoying it. Of course, people are complaining, and I know I shouldn't talk about other people complaining, but they're like, what's the point of it being, like, reincarnated? And I go, but they do actually bring it up all the time. Like, people are so used to it not being brought up, they just apply it to the next anime. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. They ask for it to be applied, so it gets applied, and then they have an issue with it. I'm like, this is why I can't take people fucking seriously. And I know I shouldn't complain, but, you know, I'm venting here a bit. So yeah, that's a pretty cool one. I like that one. I don't want to say too much, but in the last episode they summon a golem, and she just makes an RV, and it's like a self-driving RV, and it's got every time it talks in English, but it's like that Japanese English, like, okay boss, and it makes like dial tone noises and shit behind it. I don't know if that's actually part of the world or just like for us, the audience. But it just cracks me up every time. But yeah, so that's a great little anime like that. Okay, this next one's interesting. Again, I said there's a few anime that turn things on their head. So this one is what I was talking about earlier, where it's a reincarnated person who becomes the villainess of a story. But here's where it gets trippy, okay? So, it's called The Dark History of the Reincarnated Villainess. And she gets truck-kunned, but it's a joke. So, just quick, truck-kunned means being hit by a truck in anime. Kun is a male... It's like saying truck guy or truck man, basically. It's not exactly that, but I'll leave it at that if you don't know what kun is. So, but yeah, kun is a male moniker. So I would be Munchman Kun. right? Even though I know man is in it, because it's not actually, it doesn't mean man. It just means male. It's kind of like if you know about with French and stuff. Like, many languages do this. English doesn't. I mean, it's technically he, she, but it's not. But we won't get into that. We're getting way too much involved. If you don't know, you don't know. Hopefully that's enough. Anyway, she gets hit by a truck, and she gets put into not just some story that she's been reading or whatever. It's the story she wrote for herself. And when all of her life, she has basically, like, believed she's going to be isekai, right? So she's like, I'm going to be isekai one day. So she writes a story about what's going to happen when she gets isekai. So she gets killed, right, by this truck. She ends up in the isekai, and it turns out she's not the hero, even though she gave the hero her name. She ends up as the villain, the sister, the older sister that's trying to kill the main character. And so, I don't know, it's actually she's the little sister. And the little the older sister just absolutely, like, you know, won't accept that she's evil and stuff. And now she's not evil, because she actually respects that character, even though she's sad that she's not that character. It's really, really crazy, because it's not, as I said, it's not even a published work. It's just a story she wrote, mostly for herself. And now she's in it. But the problem is she wrote it when she was a little kid, and like through her teenage years. She stopped writing it when she went off to, you know, college and whatever. So, I don't know when she stopped writing it exactly. But she was an adult, like had a job, and she was like walking home talking to her mum and living on her own, and her mum was asking her if she should throw out this old letter that she wrote. She wrote a letter that when she gets isekai, she wanted her mum to read it. She actually told her mum to throw it out, so we don't know if the mum ended up reading it or just threw it out. But anyway, the point is she's been isekai'd, but she's the villain of her own story. But she doesn't remember all the details, so she keeps forgetting stuff. And yeah, it's really good. Like, it's actually a really good twist, because it's like, it's your own fucking story. And you're the villain. You were the first chapter villain who dies, and then she manages to convince them not to kill her, basically. But they still suspect, people suspect her, and there's like a dude who's obsessed with her, and he wants to kill for her. All these things. It's like, oh my god. So it's all getting more and more complicated, but it's good because it's like flows really, really well. So, yeah, I really like it. The Dark History of the Reincarnated Villainess. Highly recommend. It's really good. But yeah, it's there's only 3 episodes. Next episode in 2 days. But yeah, it's a really good anime in my opinion. Okay, the next one is 2200, because it's a year. 2200 Nen Neko no Kuni Nippon. Nippon is Japan. Nippon is Tokyo. Hold on. God damn it. Yeah, it's Japan. So it's set in the future where the declining birth rate has gotten to the point where cats have become citizens, but cats can talk in this world as well. But they're still cats for the most part. So, again, it's only 2.5-minute episodes. They're very throwaway. They're not little kids, though, like Koala Diary. It's sort of teenager. Sort of like young teenager, I guess. The main character is this girl with this cat. There's like 2 main characters, a girl and the cat. And they like get a job to buy presents for each other and stuff. And there's like very throwaway, but it's just like a very cool little concept where it's like this world where cats have basically become citizens to make up the population. And the cats work and do jobs, but they don't do them great because they're lazy, for one. And they can't do a lot of things. So there's the main cat character. He's a while people are waiting, he goes and so they can pat the cat, which he loves, of course, because he's a cat, and which keeps people nice and relaxed while they're waiting. Then on top of that, he's also meant to serve the food, right? So he brings over the burger
which has to be tied to his back. So it takes longer because they have to attach it to his back. And then he goes, the drinks are too heavy, so you'll have to get them yourself. And the dude's like, I really enjoyed petting the cat, but it didn't speed things up or make anything really better. Like, I had to do all the work myself. It took longer. Like, it's just so funny, like, these little silly things. But it's like, okay, that would sort of happen, you know? But yeah, it's set in the year 2200. And so it's still the same world. Like, nothing's futuristic or anything. At least not yet. But yeah, it's like if the birth rate declines and cats basically become citizens. So it's sort of weird. It's very weird. It's only in Japan, apparently. So yeah, great little one. Okay, this next one is, oh my god, I don't know what I can say about it. I'm gonna spoil it a little bit. So this one's called Tajima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider, or Kamen Rider. Kamen Rider was a 1971... I looked this up, by the way. I'm not a fan. I have heard of it before. But yeah, in 1971 it released. And it's in the vein... It's in that vein of like fighting monsters every week. And it's considered the spiritual successor... Or maybe not the spiritual successor. It's considered the precursor to Super Sentai. Now, Super Sentai, they took Super Sentai and they cut out all the scenes where they're talking to each other and took the fighting scenes where they're all color-coded heroes and then added a teen high school drama. They're actually adults in the original Super Sentai. And they called it Power Rangers. And or fucktard Rangers. Anyway, I don't like Power Rangers, and I have an issue with the creator of Power Rangers because he's a dick. But anyway, yeah. So Power Rangers, if you don't know, the fighting sequences were all from this show called Super Sentai, and the precursor to Super Sentai is Kamen Rider. Kamen Rider. Now, Kamen Rider has the same thing where it's like transform, and he gets like a suit. If you've ever seen Japanese Spider-Man, it's actually closer to that. I guess it's all like there are like supersized monsters and stuff, I believe. I'm not totally sure, but basically they're fighting Shocker. So okay, let's just go with the start. So the show starts with basically this guy who grew up loving Kamen Rider and wants to be Kamen Rider, and he never really grows up. So when he's a kid, you know how like there'll be a little kid, like, you know, when you're a little kid and you were like, if you're my age, I guess, you were like, and you might, you know, I guess Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has been around. You're like, I'm Donatello, Cowabunga, you know, whatever, like, you know, where you play pretend, right? Like, you're on the playground. So basically, that was what he was doing. But then, as he got older, he didn't stop. But he also got very strong. Right? So the funny part is that now he's an adult and he knows it's a TV show, so he's not delusional. I'll get to the twist in a moment for those who are like, wait, no, I'll get to it. I'm only talking about the first fucking episode. So in the first episode, he's just this dude who didn't grow up, right? And then he fights a bear and beats the bear up, and he's like, holy shit, I've practiced for so long, now I can beat up a bear. At the end of the episode, during the episode, these guys show up who are like the Shocker robberies. So they're pretending to be Shocker Shocker is the name of the evil organization. And it's the name of the evil organization, and also the main bad guy is called Shocker, I think. I don't know. I haven't seen Kamen Rider. I'd have to look it up. But the point is that these people are dressing up with just masks, basically, and going, "Ee!" which is what they did in the original show. And then they would, in the original show, they were like, you know, hurting people and killing people and all sorts of like that. Like, you know. So they're committing robberies and stuff. Then the main character is there when they're robbing something. And there's like a mobster dude, like a Yakuza guy, who became a gangster because he liked Shocker. He preferred Shocker over the heroes. So he doesn't dress up. He just gets his minions to dress up and then, you know, rob shops and
beat up people and whatever. So the main character, he puts on like a mask, like a Halloween mask, basically, like a cheap plastic mask, and beats the shit out of them at a fair. And then the episode ends by talking about Tackle. And there's a woman who's dressed up as Tackle, which is they did a spin-off of Kamen Rider. I looked all this up, and I'm probably getting things wrong, and I apologize, I haven't watched the show. But she basically dresses up like Tackle, which is this other female hero from the same universe. But it's Kamen Rider S, and he's like a robot version of Kamen Rider or something. I don't know. There's like Kamen Rider 2, and Kamen Rider V3, which V3 gets introduced in the latest episode. The show would probably make a lot more sense if I had seen Kamen Rider. But even without watching the show, it still works. Like, you don't have to, like, it's not a prerequisite. It just would make things flow a little bit better, so to speak. So, in the second episode, he meets Tackle, and they beat up these guys. And then in the third episode, is the second episode or the third episode? They introduce that Shocker is real. And there really are monsters. And, like, people are getting, like, turned, like, you know how in... See, in Japan, they weren't, like, above, like, killing people, basically. So they basically, like, put poison on people and it dissolves them. And they're, like, fully dead, just for the record. Like, they don't come back. And, yeah, so... They're in this, like... They've got this gangster dude, and he's actually putting on a mask. They go to fight him, and then randomly out of nowhere, this dude shows up. He turns into an actual Shocker henchman, although they still think that he's just dressing up like they're dressing up. And she's got a full bodysuit, by the way, the Tackle girl chick. And she doesn't like the main character because he's only got this cheap mask. But part of the reason he's only got a cheap mask is, one, he only bought like the merchandise and stuff. But he also got rid of all of his merchandise. He just had sold everything because he's sort of like, I was trying to move on. But he couldn't really move on. But yeah, so the twist is that Shocker is real, monsters exist, and people are getting murdered. And it's like, holy shit. And then there's like another twist as well with this chick, this girlfriend and stuff. Yeah, it's, I can't wait for the next episode because shit's getting complicated. But, yeah, like, totally out of nowhere. Like, I thought it was going to be where they're all basically, like, there's the people pretending to be the villains of the show, and there's people pretending to be the heroes of the show, and they would just, sort of battle each other, and it would be like, because the action scenes are like, whoa, it's like punching them and they're flying through the air, and like, he is super strong. Like, he could punch someone through an actual wall. But he beat up a bear, is what I've got to get into that. So the thing is, like, the bear attacks him, by the way. He didn't go and fight the bear. The bear, he turns around, he's punching a tree and like it's shattering the tree's bark. And he's like, holy shit, I've actually become like so strong. Like, even he amazes himself a little bit. But then sort of says how sad it is because he's always like, come and punch! And, yeah, he basically ends up that he's now fighting the real Shocker. And, yeah, it's like... It went from like, oh, it's just adults. It's like it's kind of sad, but they're so sincere about it. You know what I mean? So it worked. Whereas now it's like, okay, fuck me, this is real. And they've met this dude who his grandparents were killed by Shocker, like by this monster and shit. And it's like, holy crap. But yeah, so really interesting show. I can't wait to see where it goes. But yeah, the last episode, fourth episode, ends with kind of like the original TV series, where it's like the cliffhanger ending where they're surrounded by the bad guys. The thing is, the bad guys actually kill people. You know what I mean?
So, yeah, I'm like, this show's like totally just threw me for a roll. So, sorry to spoil it, I guess. But, yeah, I mean, no one's watching this, but that's okay. The next one. This next one's great. So, this is a slice of life, bit of funny, bit of humour. Alma Chan. So, I can't imagine what I said about Kun before. Chan is female. Alma Chan wants to be a family. And it's a fun little anime. Basically, this guy, this man and this woman, they're both geniuses in robotics and AI. One's robotics, one's AI. And they pair up because they're being overlooked by academia and shit, by other people, the universities and stuff. So they decide to start their own... They decided to make their own, like, super robot to, show everybody, you know what I mean? Like, look at us, like, we did this independently, you know what I mean? So they create this super AI robot, and they put it through its testing and stuff like that. So it's like, simulated testing. It starts off with, like, the simulation sort of thing. And then when she comes out of the simulation, because she's like a little girl, like little battle robot, like Alita battle robot sort of style, she comes out of it, and she's like, they're like, oh, you're really good. And she's like, cool. And calls them mother and father. And she just looks at them as being her parents. And so she's got this innocence about her because she's like, oh, it's a man and a woman living together with a child. That's a family, right? And she searches online. So she's basically like, they realize that treating her like a daughter. So a lot of people compare it to Spy X Family, and it definitely has similarities. I didn't get to the end of the first season of Spy X Family. Not that I didn't like it, I really did enjoy it. It just didn't hold my interest. I don't know what it was. It just didn't quite click. This one's clicking a lot more for me, and I've actually seen in the comments a lot of people comparing the two, and I'm like, I think the problem with Spy X Family is, it's like, I want them to kind of realize that, she's if you don't know, in Spy X Family, the mum is an assassin, the dad is a spy, the girl is a psychic, and the dog... What's the deal with the dog? Hold on. I'm trying to remember now. Give me a second. Sorry, I'm getting off topic, but hold on. Bond Forger. Test subject? Bond is allowed to agree with flying. Yeah, precognition. Oh. I didn't get to episode 11. Maybe it's in the intro or something. I might have looked it up. Anyway, but yeah, so Spy X Family is... It's good. I got no issues with it. I think I just wanted the penny to drop, but at the same time, if it did, then the show wouldn't be the show. But yeah, I just... It's a thing with me, personally. This is the thing. It's nothing to do with the quality of the show. The show is fantastic and pulls off its premise fantastically. It's animated fantastic. It's a fantastic show. The difference between me and 55% of other fucking cunts out there is just because I don't like something doesn't mean it's bad, right? It just didn't click with me. And it's not going to click with me fully because something's holding it back. Which is if anything, my fucking problem, not yours. So, when people say Alma-chan wants to be a family is better, I think it's because the only thing that hasn't, like, penny dropped, theoretically, is the two main characters. Like, well, there's Alma's the main character, but the man and the woman, I can't remember their names, I'm terrible with names. They actually do like each other. They just are so busy denying it, and they're so awkward that it's holding them back from actually, like, being together, basically. So yeah, so it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. Another character's been added in this episode, another robot character, and she's kind of stupid, but it's charming. It works. But yeah, it's yeah. Basically, there's a senpai notice me character for the woman, the robotics woman, who's the mother. Because they're so busy saying mother and father, they don't say the names of the characters very much. So that's part of the reason I forget. But yeah, the mother character, yeah, like they say that they're against it, but then they're totally for it, and they do treat her like like she's their daughter. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And she attends school and stuff. She's got like super abilities because she's like a super battle robot. But yeah, she's still like naive child, but then like super intelligent. It's great. She doesn't have life experience, so yeah, there's a whole thing to it, and it really really works. I really really like it, and it's good. I like it. Okay. This next one, this is one where it's really well done. It's really well animated. It's a great story. I might end up dropping it though. It's called Mechanical Marie. And it's got the same problem as Spy X Family. I want the penny to drop, but then that's the premise of the show. So, basically, there's a guy who there's a new episode, by the way. It's on episode 4. Basically, she is a fighter. She was like a cage match fighter, right? So she's really, really strong, and she doesn't emote at all. Right? Which, funnily, there's 2 anime about emotions, but we'll get to that. She is pretending to be a robot, be a maid bot, because the main guy... So there's a guy who runs a company that makes robots. He doesn't like humans, because they lie and they're untrustworthy and they're flawed, right? So... the problem is that he wanted like a super advanced robot, and they couldn't really build it. So they just found this woman, the butler basically found this woman, agreed to pay all of her debts, but she has to pretend to be a robot, right? So he's fallen in love with her and so on, but she has to pretend to be a robot, which... she's very, as I said, she's very, like, stiff and, like, doesn't emote. So she's pulling it off for the most part. But she's got problems, like, she's not allowed to eat in front of him. So there's a scene where something happens with a battery. I can't remember what happened with the battery. And so she lies and says that, she is eating the battery or some shit. And like she says she needs to use the battery to power, like, recharge, but it's like a AA battery. Like, she's a full size woman at Don. And he's like, I want to see how you recharge. So in like a moment of like panic, she just puts it in her mouth. So then later on, they're out for a date, and there's like people doing the like and like putting cake in the mouth. And he's like, and then puts a battery in her mouth. Like, she doesn't eat it or chew it or anything. Just puts it, like, in between her lips to charge. Which doesn't make any sense. It's just stuff like that. It's a great little show. But the problem is that, yeah, like, basically, if he finds out that she's not a robot, he'll most likely kill her. And his brother is trying to kill him for the family business. And so there's always like spies and assassins and stuff trying to kill her. It's just a fun little show, but it frustrates me because I want them to I want them to drop the facade
but it's not going to happen. And yeah, like that's what I mean. The anime is great. But yeah. So funnily enough, okay, the next one is Inexpressive Kashiwara and Expressive Uta or Aota. So this one's interesting. This is a teen romance, high school romance, or middle school, either way. So I think it is high school. I'm not so sure. It's a fun little show. It's the basic premise is there's a guy who's extremely expressive. Like he basically reacts to everything, and it's always like his face just shows his emotion. Like when he's happy, when he's sad, whatever. Like it's just his face. He can't do a poker face, right? And there's a girl. So there's Uta is the guy, or no, I think it's Aota, because in English double O becomes thing, whereas in Japanese it's like I think it's just stretch it out, so it becomes Ota. I think I'm not so sure, but anyway, point is he wants she and she's expressionless. She's permanently poker faced. So he keeps trying to get her to emote. So he puts a spider in front of her to get her to jump, and so there's arrows have to come up on the screen, and it is funny. It's part of the show, and it's she's scared. She actually is surprised, but she doesn't show it on her face. She's always straight faced, like a poker face. So she likes him, and he actually likes her as well. But it's the classic, they don't say their feelings, and he's so busy trying to get her to emote. He finds out that she is scared of ghosts, so he takes her to see a scary movie, but it scares him more than it scares her. And she's just happy to be there with him, it's a whole thing. It's very cute. It's extremely cute. I really enjoyed it. It's up to the 4th episode. And yeah, I highly recommend it. But yeah, it's just a good little slice of life. There's no stakes or anything. It just is. And yeah, and the last episode was a bit sad. There's a little kitten that she found and she was taking care of. But she couldn't take it home because in Japan it's really expensive to have a pet. It costs more to own a pet in Japan than it does to run a car. Yeah, a pet in Japan is a massive life choice. It's like having a child. It's insane. People don't realize this. That's what people are tricked because they watch anime and they go, oh, everyone owns cats in anime. And I'm yeah, because anime is a fantasy. You know all the stuff you see in anime where they're in the schools and they act all the ways they do in schools? None of that's real. Yeah, in Japanese schools are extremely fucking boring. And I don't just mean that anime is exciting and life is boring. No, I just mean it is extremely fucking boring. Yeah, anime adds a completely unique dynamic to the world. It's the reason why in anime everyone has colored hair. I'm going to tell you something you might never have noticed, and it's funny because I was in my mid-20s when I found this out. I couldn't believe it. And I was how did I never notice? In Japan, everyone has black hair. And you're going to tell me now, people, I go, no, they dye their hair. The natural color of Japanese people is, in most Asian people, most Asian cultures, most Asian people have black hair. And Japan, next time you see an image, you'll look at a photo and everyone has black hair. And then you'll see, tourists. That's why they love blonde hair, because it's the polar fucking opposite. That's why, what's it called? Fucking... Oh, the kawaii girls, gairus, whatever it's called, gyru girls. That's why that's a big thing, because girls are it's the opposite. You're outgoing and whatever. It's the opposite. It's a full thing. It's stuff that you never even notice. That's why so many characters in anime have different colored hair, because it's a fantasy world, and that's why the main character usually has black hair, because that's that self-insert element.
I just blew the minds of a whole bunch of people if they were even watching this video, but that's okay. They're not, but if they were, mind blown. But anyway, this one's an interesting one. This is a little throwaway one. This is a reincarnation one as well. This is an isekai, reincarnation isekai. It's called Dad is a Hero, Mum is a Spirit, I'm a Reincarnator. I think it's meant to be I'm a Reincarnated, but everywhere it says Reincarnator, so I don't know. There's a lot of like in-universe stuff. I don't want to get into the full storyline of it. I'm kind of trying to wrap this up a little bit, but I've got like I got four more anime to talk about. So yeah, this anime is good. It's a bit of fun. It's a very much a fluff kawaii anime. It's got a cool little story. There's some villainous characters and stuff. There's basically a prince that wants to exploit the main characters, and yeah, it's a little political. So some people might not like it for the political side, but overall, it's pretty good. I really enjoy it. I know I'm not saying much on it, but yeah, it's good. Banished Court. I'm losing my steam. Sorry. So this one's the Banished Court magician aims to become the strongest. This is a fantasy one. It's about a guy who gets taught magic from a dude who's like really powerful, and so he becomes really powerful. And basically, he tries to change. It's one of those like kicked out of the hero's party type anime, which if you don't know what I'm talking about, they're pretty common. But yeah, he gets kicked out of the hero's party, and it's the classic, like, he was the glue keeping it together. But yeah, he's trying to change the world, and his master was trying as well. His senpai, I should say. And he... senpai doesn't work, sorry. But yeah, his sensei, sorry. I meant to say sensei, I said senpai. His sensei, when I say master, I mean, like, teacher. Taught him, like, the magic and stuff, and yeah, it's sort of like super powerful, super powered, and we'll see where it goes. It's sort of just... It hasn't been bad, it's been good. But, yeah. There's a third episode for this one. So, I've had this error coming up on my screen for the last 3 days. And it means that I'm sort of behind a little bit in anime. So, this one's really funny. This is another one I really want to talk about. So, hold on, I'm going to hold this for this one. Okay, so just quickly, I'm only going to talk about this for a moment. There's campfire cooking in another world with my absurd skill. If you haven't seen the first season, go and watch it. It's really good. It's an isekai. It's a summoned isekai. The main character and three people are summoned at once. There's like two, like a girl and a boy who are like teenagers, and one of them's like ice magic and like sword princess, and the dude's like, I think he's like archer, I can't even remember what they were because they're only really shown in the first episode and then once later on. And they're in this fantasy world, and the food quality in the fantasy world is pretty mediocre. The main character, so they have like super attack skills, and the main character, because he's like a salesman, he sees the king, and he sees straight away the king's just trying to exploit them, right? And he doesn't want anything to do with it. So they look at his skill, and his skill is online shopping, and they're like, oh, how lame. But his skill is actually OP as fuck, in essence. Because everything that he brings over... So basically, he brings up a screen in front of him. If you've ever seen isekai anime, or just any anime that has a status screen, he brings it up. He brings up like a browser that's like in the air, like a hologram almost. But only he can see it, as far as I know. And he's able to put money into like this little like box on the screen, and it converts it into yen for him to be able to order things online, right? And I'm assuming he can connect to everything. There was another one called Middle-Aged Shopper that came out not last season, I think it was the season before, like start of the year. And that one, he only could connect to Alibaba, basically, which if you don't know what Alibaba is, it's Amazon for Asia and kind of cheaper. Sort of similar to Temu and stuff like that. But anyway, I think Alibaba owns Temu. I'm not even sure. Anyway, point is, don't call it Alibaba. They call it like Al Jazeera or something like that. But it's like obviously like Alibaba is like the inspiration. But yeah, he can only buy things that are on that website. This guy in Campfire Cooking, he seems to be able to like order from like any website that sells products, I think. I'm not totally sure how it works, but they have a very similar premise. So he orders all this cooking and food and stuff and like, you know, some appliances and stuff, but he's still limited. He did say that he was limited on what he could buy. So anyway, he still is limited. But the point is that, yeah, the food that he makes, it might only be groceries he can order, but he is able to order like things that you can order from groceries, like a hot plate, like a gas-powered hot plate and the gas canisters and stuff like that. Whereas in Online Shopper, there's used vehicles on Alibaba and this website that he's using, the equivalent. So he's able to summon vehicles and shit. I don't know if this guy can summon vehicles. Not that he needs vehicles, because at the end of the first episode, he cooks this really good meal, and it also invigorates everyone. It actually levels them up, basically. It's only a temporary effect, but it makes them more powerful. So if he was with the guy and the girl, they would get power-ups as well. So basically, they're struggling a little bit because they thought he was useless. But in reality, he's actually like able to power them up. And he also cooks really good food, which they joke in one of the episodes. It ends with them eating some skewered meat, and it tastes like shit. And they're like, oh my god, the food in this world sucks so bad. And they're like, yeah, well, you should have kept that guy around, even though no one wanted him to. Like, basically, the king is like, you don't have any strong combat abilities? Fuck off, I'm not interested. And he's happy to leave. But anyway, at the end of the first episode, he meets Fenrir. So come back to Fenrir again. And Fenrir loves his food, and so he ends up becoming his familiar, which is like something Fenrir doesn't do. But it's just so he can eat food, and then he gets this slime, and the slime is so cute! Sui Sui. Is it Sui Sui? Yeah. Sui Sui likes to pew pew. And he's so fucking cute. And then now there's a little pixie dragon. The pixie dragon's not as cute. I don't know. I don't mind him. He's a good character, but Sui Sui's... Is it just Sui, I think? Actually, I think it's just Sui. But yeah, so basically, Campfire Cooking is him just traveling around, getting monster meat and making meals, and it makes me hungry watching it, but it's really, really good. Highly recommend. It's very throwaway, very slice of life. There's no stakes or anything. It's just going around and meeting people and misunderstandings and they go to dungeons and stuff a little bit, and then and he's also got to give offerings to the goddesses, because he's able to get things from the other world, and they really love like chocolates and sweets and alcohol and all the things he can get. They all want different things, and it's hilarious. Like, one wants beauty products, and then these two other gods show up, male gods. They're all women gods, the first ones. Now it's two male gods, and they're helping out as well, and they want alcohol as well. So he's mostly just getting gods drunk. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. The gods are like just a part of the story. They're not like a big focus. So the last one I want to talk about, this is another summoned isekai. My status as an assassin obviously exceeds the heroes. This one's really good. I really enjoy this one. I recommend it. It's a guy who gets the assassin skills, and he's learning that like they basically summon a classroom of kids. And if you don't know about this, there's a few anime like this where they summon a whole classroom, and there's a hero. One of the students is the hero, and they're basically manipulating them, but I'm not sure why, because it feels like they're trying to kill them off. I'm not sure what the deal is, but basically they're corrupting them and controlling them. And so the hero goes off, so the main character gets framed, but he doesn't want to murder. He can kill monsters, but he doesn't want to murder humans. And so because he wants to go home, and he's like, if I murder, then I would, I'd go against I'd go against like my stance. Like, he doesn't want to kill. So the guy says to him, just because you're an assassin doesn't mean you have to kill. Like, an assassin's skills are just assassin skills, but they don't have to be used for assassinating. So he actually counter-assassinates people, keeping them alive and stuff like that. But yeah, it's interesting. He can conceal his presence. He just got a cat familiar. But yeah, it's good. It's fun. I really enjoy. So recommend that. Okay, what was the one? It was Little Miss Vampire. This is the last one I want to end on because this one is just cute. So it doesn't say it's a romance. I don't know why. I feel it is, but maybe it isn't. I don't know. I don't know if this is the whole world or just this one town, but there's basically like monsters and humans living together, and the main character is a human, like the dude, and then there's this girl, and it's called Little Miss Vampire Can't Suck Right, which of course has led to a lot of jokes and puns. But she's a vampire, and she's like got the persona of being really cool. And then she ends up, she feels like she has to be cool and like to keep up like the appearance of what people expect vampires to be. But there's a twist in some of the episodes and stuff. The thing is though is that basically she can't suck blood properly, right? She's bad at it. And she's embarrassed, right? So it's like when you want to play musical instruments or whatever, or maybe it's not the same, but yeah, like, I guess we're different because she's a vampire, but yeah, it's like she gets embarrassed by it and she feels like it's uncool. But the long and short of it is that she accidentally reveals, she keeps eating lots of like stuff because she needs to keep up her blood sugar basically, because she's not getting the proper nutrients because she's not sucking blood. And it is a world where having your blood sucked doesn't turn you into a vampire. I just want to clarify that. I don't know how you turn into a vampire, but yeah, he even asks, and she says, not everything is the same, like it's some of the things, like she can go in sunlight, there's a whole bunch of stuff she can do that, like, garlic and stuff doesn't affect her, she likes garlic. But yeah, so anyway, the point is that she's like eating lots of snacks and stuff, and he ends up discovering that she can't fly because she's too weak because she's not drinking blood. So he offers for her to practice with him, like sucking his blood, and then it leads to like hilarity, comedy and all that. But the funniest part about it is when she sucks his blood, she turns chibi. Like, she turns into a chibi. And I thought that it was like a joke. Like there was a representation or something. No, she actually physically becomes like a tiny little girl. And she acts all chibi. She's like, mum, like a little kid. And, it's really funny. Like, it's surprised. She doesn't seem to notice that she does it. Like, she's unaware that she's doing it. So, yeah, it's this really weird thing where she turns chibi when she goes to suck blood, and they're all like, oh, we're like her mother, or like, or something. It's a bit weird. I don't get the full premise, but it is hilarious, and I love it. So, yeah, it's a good little show. It's just cute. I feel it should be a romance. Maybe they just don't have that element. Maybe they're just friends. It doesn't have to be a romance. I mean, that's the thing. We kind of get stuck on that idea that it has to be a romance. It doesn't have to be. But yeah, so forget about the name. It's just, it doesn't translate well to English. But yeah, it's basically Little Miss Vampire can't draw blood right. Or can't suck blood right, if you want to look at it that way. But yeah, people are insinuating shit because they're immature. And yeah, I'll have a laugh and a giggle here. Can't suck right. But people are judging it for the name, and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, grow up. It's most likely a mistranslation, if anything. But, yeah. So, I don't think it's making an innuendo. You know what I mean? I think the innuendo is the idea of a vampire not being able to suck blood properly. Like, it's something you just don't think of. You know what I mean? So, yeah. It's only had 3 episodes, so I can't say too much on it. But, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And just the whole chibi thing is so funny. Like, it just, yeah, she just, you know... And when she's really hungry, she chibis as well. So, yeah, it's a whole thing. Like, when she wants blood real bad or whatever, she chibis out. And, as I said, I'm really enjoying it. So, highly recommend. There's a few in there I highly recommend. The only one that I'm having a problem with is Mechanical Marie. And that's only I'm having a problem because I want him to acknowledge that she's actually, like, find out she's a woman. That doesn't happen. Like, I looked up the manga, and it's up to, like, volume 6, and according to what I was able to learn online, he doesn't know. So, the anime are going to reveal it. Every now and then he does have, like, a but he's sort of gullible with her. Like, it's funny, he's always suspecting people, but because she's a robot, she can't lie. So, if she can't lie... You know, this whole thing. So anyway, it all works out. But yeah, it's the same as Spy X Family. I'm like, I just want the penny to drop. But then it would ruin the premise. That's the problem. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you all have a good one. I know it wasn't visually entertaining. Maybe in the future I want to try and do like screen share type stuff. Which I can do. I can actually do that because I have... I need to figure out how to do it through Bandicam because I have the full version of Bandicam. So I basically got to integrate... I'm pretty sure there's a way to integrate Bandicam into OBS. Or I think OBS does screen recording. I just don't want to record the whole screen because there's things that are personal and stuff like that. So it's sort of, yeah, like I want to make sure I don't dox myself or anything like that. But anyway, everyone have fun. Don't work to what? And much